Alrighty, greetings and salutations, folk. Uh, I am Bryce Bryson, your diviner, your reader. I can be your advisor. But yes, I am he who throw the cards and dice to divine for you and to give you the messages that you need, okay? Um, I was actually just doing my YouTube live um, for this content, so I'm not doing the connection or whatever, so it just stopped in the middle of my video. So I switched to doing this video here, and then I'm going to post it on YouTube and Facebook or whatever, wherever else I want to. Yes. Um, but the subject matter at hand is going to for today is empaths, narcissists, and their flying monkeys. Okay, so for those of you who did not see my previous video on empaths and their narcissists, um, I'm going to go ahead and run through a brief description of each. The empath, the narcissists, and their flying monkey. Okay. Um, let's see here. One thing I do want to say is that the content in this video may get a little racy because I'm going to speak on some of my own experiences, okay? And it does include of a sexual nature, okay? So, if you are kind of button up and just, a stiff, that's not a judgment, but if you are a stiff, then this might not be for the video for you, or you just might need to duck out when that time comes, okay? So empaths, we are spiritually gifted people who can sense and feel the emotions of other people. In a lot of cases, not just other people, we can also sense and feel the emotions of animals. Those are, or we are animal empaths. As opposed to just regular empaths. There are also nature and elemental empaths as well. We can pick up and feel the energy and vibration of nature, the weather. Change is coming within the weather and all of that, okay? I happen to have access to all of those giftings as an empath, okay? Not only can we sense and pick up on the emotions of others, oftentimes we channel the emotions into ourselves. If we are unawakened empaths, when we channel those emotions into ourselves, we oftentimes tend to believe that they are our own emotions. And depending on the severity of that, we can oftentimes believe and even be clinically diagnosed with mental health issues. That has happened to me, although my family does deal with mental health issues. Because and this goes back to as long as I can remember, even as a child, but I would oftentimes pick up on and channel and taking on so many emotions that did not belong to me. Some of them did, yes, some of them rightfully did, but a lot of them didn't. They weren't my own emotions. I was picking them up and taking them on as my own, being an empath, being an unawakened empath, okay? So this led me to believe that I had mental health issues, okay? So I am clinically diagnosed as bipolar disorder. I am clinically diagnosed as PTSD. I am clinically diagnosed as borderline personality disorder. I'm none of those things, okay? I now realize that I lived 38 years of my life believing that I was all of those things, okay? The borderline personality disorder that was recent, diagnosed like maybe last year and a half ago, when I was going through my homeless stage after losing my pawpaw to pancreatic cancer. It was just not a healthy time for me. I was going through it. I lost my job. I'm grieving the most profound loss of my entire life. And at the time, I felt like my mental health was failing. Okay, because one of the biggest fears that I had was not to end up like a particular person in my family. Okay, and their mental health issues. So with that said, once I realized I was in the midst of a spiritual awakening earlier this year, um, say maybe over the past summer 2019, I started to become conscious in the fact that I'm awaking spiritually. Okay, and then I came to the point to where I accepted who I am and my giftings and me being an empath, and a realization like, no, bitch, you're not crazy. This shit is real. This shit is real. And I talked about some of that in one of my spiritual awakening videos, which that will be an ongoing topic and subject as well. Okay, so once I made it to that level and accepting who and what I am and my gifts and my powers, baby, let me tell you, I became in control of my mental body, my emotional body, more in control of my emotional body. Um, I have not had any cycles. I have not had any mood swings. I have not had any need nor desire to be on medication or to take any of my meds, because why? I don't need them. Why? Because I know who I am now. And now that I am resting in the knowing, I can control my gifts. Okay? I can control when, for the most part, now, let me say I'm still growing and I'm still learning certain techniques, okay? But I can control as far as channeling people's emotions into my own self, okay? That don't happen anymore because I can control that aspect of my gift. It doesn't cause me to cycle. One, because I know what emotions are mine now, and I know when I'm picking up on other people's emotions. Back then, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that. As far as maybe over a year and a half ago, I did not know that. I've always felt like um, I have these gifts, and I will often jokingly say I'm an empath. Um, and there was a small part of me that believed that, but not to the extent that I now do, and that I now know. And that, yes, this is legit. This is a real gift. This is a real power. Yes, bitch, you have to learn how to control it. Thus, I have. And I'm continually learning. Okay, so that's empath. Narcissists, oh my God, they a piece of work. Let me tell you this right now, bitch. Narcissists are people who are borderline evil in my opinion. Okay, yes, there is a realization that no one thing, no one person is all good, all bad. Okay, it's the outcome of what you do that determines whether an action or an intent is good or bad. Okay, let's just get that straight. But narcissists, it's almost like they have no emotion, they have no real true self identity. Okay, um, and they tend to go after people who have the light within themselves that narcissists wished that they had. Okay, and they don't, because they're living a complete shadow life. Okay, they may have, well, they do have light within themselves, as we all do. We have light and shadow within ourselves, but their shadow is so thick and so encompassing that they don't even know how to access their own light. They don't even, a lot of them believe that they don't even really have light at all. Okay, and seemingly that may be true, because again, they are shrouded and encompassed by such thick shadow. Okay, and so that leads them to seek out people, empaths, that have a natural undying light, who possess all of the traits and characteristics that the narcissist they themselves want. Okay, but they can't access those things, so they target people who have what they need. Okay, and they feed off of that. It's fuel to them. It gives them the gasoline that they need to survive. because they can't survive on their own merit. Okay, they can't survive on their own juice. Okay, because their juice is bland, because they are so encompassed in the shadow. They juice don't have no taste. Okay, it's foul, it's nasty. So they gotta target people who have the light, who have the juice, okay, who got the lemonade, who got that sweet tea that they need in order to continue and go on. And a lot of narcissists, again, they will target you. So that means that they will watch you from a distance for however long they need to learn you, to see what makes you tick, to learn about the light that you have, to mimic or copy the attributes that you have so that they can attract you. Okay, once you are attracted to a narcissist, they will ensnare you slowly but surely if you're not aware and if you're not strong enough. I, for a long time, was not strong enough. I was not even aware. Okay, let me tell you. They can come off extremely charming. A lot of narcissists are very good looking, very sexy, and they use that to get at you. And a lot of times it works. Okay, narcissists can be very dangerous. Okay, one of their favorite games is gaslighting, or favorite tools to use to manipulate and deceive you is gaslighting. So that means, what is gaslighting? Gaslighting is when someone intentionally does something or refute an event, an action in a particular place and or time to make you think that it didn't really happen. So case in point, you may be chilling with your narcissistic boo or whatever, and you told them that your mom just died. You got a phone call. I know this is extreme, but it's the first thing that popped up in my head. And it needs, sometimes we need to go to the extreme in order for you to see the point. But you get a phone call, you're told that your mom just died. So, you're, oh my God, boo, my mom just died. Narcissist sitting right there, has little to no reaction. It goes back to watching the movie that you all were watching together, okay? So you're flabbergasted. You're dumbfounded. I just told this nigga that my mom died. And he has little to no reaction, okay? So you go, boo, did you hear what I say? And he turn around and look at you like, what? I just told you that my mom died. Narcissist, no you didn't. What? Now you yourself know that you just got this phone call and you just told your boo this very thing. And they looking you in your face, in your eye. No, you didn't. Knowing full well that you did. Okay? So they will do things like that regardless of the level of severity. It could be very little things. It could be very big things that either you will say or that they will say or do and swear that it never happened. Okay, and they will do this so convincingly that you begin to doubt yourself. You begin to feel like that you're going crazy because you could have sworn that you just did this very thing, or they just did or said this very thing, but they're swearing up and down to you that it never happened. So now you're moved in a place of second guessing yourself, doubting yourself, not being able to trust your gut instinct or your intuition because you have this narcissistic fool up in your head gaslighting you. And they're doing this intentionally because they want to break you down. They want you to be weakened. They want you to be in a space of not being able to trust your own thoughts, okay? Because when you can't trust your own thoughts, then you're going to lean to the person that's right next to you, that's closest to you, that has your best interest at heart, which in this case would be the narcissist. But of course, they don't have your best interest at heart. They're only concerned about themselves and getting what they need, okay? Okay, that's the only thing that narcissists are out for. Getting the very thing that you have so that they can get their fuel off of that, okay? And survive off of that, okay? So yes. Narcissists, they are a trip. Okay, they are a trip. Um, the flying monkey. Okay. The flying monkey are oftentimes associates, friends. I don't even really want to say friends because narcissists, they don't have friends. They use everybody around them for their own personal gain. Okay. I don't care how tight the bond in the relationship may seem. It can be that way on the opposite end of the narcissist, but the narcissist is not valuing anybody beyond the source of supply. That's it. That's all. Okay. There's no love. There's no value outside of just being a source of fuel and a flying monkey. Okay, so narcissists will use their flying monkey friend to help them perpetrate it. Oftentimes, these gaslighting methods. Okay, or they will use the flying monkey to just be a witness. Okay, to just be a witness while they themselves gaslight you and cast you in a light of you being crazy. You're off the hinges, you're this, you're that, and the other. And they do it so swell that they may even have a group of flying monkeys, and these bitches don't even know that they are flying and a monkey. Okay? And then once these flying monkeys become witness to these acts, what do? They go and run their mouths. They go and tell people what they witnessed. Girl, bitch, guess what happened? I was over here and this, that, and the other happened, and that dude went off. He crazy. Okay? And oftentimes these flying monkeys are people within your own communal settings. Okay? So that means that they are acquaintances and friends with other people that you know, or certain crowds that you may be in. Okay? And so what does that do? That lessens your credibility when you go to tell the story or the testimony of what you've been through with this person, while it on the other side it boosts the credibility of the narcissist who is perpetrating everything and has everyone, almost everyone, fooled and bamboozled. Okay, this is exactly how it works. Case in point, if you squeamish about sex, you might want to take a break. Alrighty. What was this? About a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. I think during this time, my papa, I recently found out that my papa was suffering or ailing, in actuality, dying from pancreatic cancer. Okay, he's my hero, most important person in my world. Okay, so I was kicking it with this dude back home in Chicago. This is during one of my tenures, going back, my brief tenure before I went back for that year. Okay, but yeah, me and this dude, we would hang out, we would smoke or whatever. He, again, very charming, very he's attractive, or was attractive, because now that I see him for his full face, his real face, I'm quite often disgusted, like, you know. But one of the things that got me with him was the color of his eyes. Okay, he had like hazel green eyes. I'm a sucker for eyes. I have a lot of family members that were born with and have gray eyes, hazel green eyes, hazel eyes, chestnut eyes. I was born with gray eyes, but you know, I lost them. Genetics. And for a point, I even considered doing that eye color changing surgery that Tiny did, and I'm not going through that shit because I've come to a place to be grateful and to love the way that I was made, just how I am. Okay. But anyway, so yeah, that's one of the ways that he grabbed my attention, because I'm a sucker for eyes. Okay. And they don't even have to be colored eyes. They just have to be alluring. They have to have, you know, character. And y'all know what I'm talking about. But anyway, yeah. So me and him, because I was, and naturally I'm just an open person. You know, I like people to know who I am so that there won't be any mistakes. Okay. Sometimes that can be to your detriment, because you can give up everything valuable of yourself to a person who means you no good. And I had to learn that lesson over and over again. Okay. But so I was vulnerable, extremely vulnerable. We would hang out, we would smoke or whatever, and one on one, he's understanding, and very sympathetic, and I'm just telling him all my Achilles heels or whatever. So then when it gets time for freak time, okay, for a little extra freak time, okay, let's call another one over. We can, little threesome or whatever the case may be. Okay, cool, bet. I'm feeling it. I'm down with it. Okay. Uh, so now, mind you, one on one, everything is all good. But then when the additional come over, and depending on the scenario, um, the additional comes over. They might be feeling me a little bit more, and for a narcissist, oh no, bitch, I got to be the motherfucking star of the show. Okay, so there were certain times too where I was getting a little more attention than he was, and then he would start, in the middle of and we freaking out. We in a whole little freak session. He would start to mention, throw out little jabs. You know what I'm saying? Personally related to me and the things that I confided in him on, and they will start to throw me off. Like, wait a minute. Now, mind you, this bitch already knows that I am bipolar or whatever. And so he's intentionally throwing these little nuggets out to throw me off my game and put me in a mental space to, like, wait a minute, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? Which undoubtedly affects me in the freak session, because these things are being thrown out and it's like, wait a minute, okay, did I just hear that? Or did he just do that? Am I tripping? Or, this, that, and the other. And then there will be a moment to where he will pull the person out of the room, the additional out of the room. They will be in another room talking now. They're not freaking at this point. They're just talking. It's like, what are they talking about? Like, that's kind of an awkward thing to do. And then he and the additional will come back into the room. The vibe, the energy is completely off. The additional is kind of like, okay, well, it's not even really paying me any attention anymore, being very shady, or withdrawn or whatever. It's like, damn, okay, uh, what was said? Because before you was all about this, you wanted all of this burger, but now you want a salad. You know what I'm saying? And because of the state of mind that I was in, I didn't quite, I had a certain amount of knowing, but it was just like, I was at a point to where I can't trust myself. Like, maybe this is going on, but maybe I am just tripping. You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah. And then there was another incident in particular, um, pretty much the same scenario. We scheduled one on one, smoking all of this stuff. Let's invite, our friend wants to come over. Okay, cool, whatever. But then, and there were times to during the session, freak session, um, when the additionals were around, the look in his eyes would change, and it would send a shudder through my body, because it's like, okay, he would get such a devilish look in his eyes, like, yeah, bitch, I got you right where I want you. And a couple of times had sent me the gaslighting and the techniques that he was using, sent me flying out the house. I gotta go. No matter what time of day or night, I got to go. Because I'm feeling like I'm getting ready to go crazy. Case in point, because he knew of another situation that I was in with a narcissist, and he kind of mimicked the situation, okay? So much so to the point to where he had me believing I was in literal physical danger, okay? because this flying monkey in particular, again, was a friend that he knew. So he was in on this, you know what I'm saying? Because in the middle of the freak session or whatever, one, I kept saying, okay, I gotta go soon, I got a flight, I gotta get ready for a flight, this, that, and the other. No, stay for a little longer, okay? And I'm feeding into it because I want to get my rocks off or whatever. I'm caught up in the moment or whatever, you know. And so, I end up staying, the freak session is going on, but it's off because, again, the narcissist is throwing out these little nuggets to just throw me completely off my game. You know what I'm saying? So I'm stuck in my head, you know, reviewing everything in my head. So no, I'm not all the way present in this session. So then, while we're in the session, the flying monkey starts saying, "Where's the razor? Where's the knife? What the fuck? What you need a razor blade and a knife for?" You know what I'm saying? Just totally having their way with my head. Okay, just having their way with my head. And I'm trying to keep my cool, trying to stay calm and composed. You know what I'm saying? But internally, I'm losing it. I'm unraveling it. Like, oh my God, they're getting ready to try and kill me, you know, do this, that, and the other. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I couldn't trust my own thoughts. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And a couple of times I left his place just like it near complete mental collapse. Okay? Near complete mental collapse. Because I'm allowing this narcissist and his bitch ass flying monkeys to fuck with my mind. Okay? Okay? My mind is unfuckwittable now. Because I'm present. I know my power. I know who I am, bitch. That's so important. That is so fucking important. And baby, when I came to the realization of what was going on, which was at my last job that I worked at, that I walked away from on September 12th, 2019, a colleague there who is also a fellow empath, she put me on to what narcissism was. Yeah, I could have Googled it anytime because that word and that phrase was always present and kept popping up, but I wasn't in a place to where I was getting the hint, the spiritual hint. So, and taking it upon myself to research, but she had ended up telling me what it was. And then from there, I researched right there as we're talking, and I'm just like, wow, I fell into tears. Because I'm like, oh my God, I have gone through this more times than I care to remember in several different types of relationships and settings. Okay, it wasn't always in a romantic or a sexual situation. Okay, friendships, family. Okay, bitch. So when that realization hit, baby, let me tell you. I fell into tears, sobbing tears right there in the office. Like, oh my God. I was not going crazy. I'm not crazy. Okay, at that time, I still was believing I was bipolar. But I'm like, yo, like, this was not an act of my own mind, okay? I'm not losing it, okay? This was intentionally done to me by someone else to intentionally fuck with my mental health. And once that realization hit and that certain amount of relief, baby, I got angry. I got filled with rage. And I set out for revenge. And I started a little bit, but then I was like, nah, I can't continue to do this because I don't want to bring back the energy back onto me, okay? Okay? And you're gonna feel like that, some of you empaths. Once you come to the realization of the fact that you're dealing with the narcissists and flying monkeys and what they have done to you or tried to do to you, you will become enraged and you will want to seek revenge and or justice. Okay? Don't fall into that trap, okay? The narcissists are very smart. Very smart. And I know how to get under their butt, under their skin too. I really do know how. But it's not worth it, okay? Once you find out that you are involved with a narcissist, your best bet, your safest bet is to go no contact immediately. You don't owe no explanations. Don't accept no phone calls. Just leave and stay gone. That will fuck them up in the heads. For a time is not going to be long term, because after they get over their initial fucked upness that you just left, okay, they're going to go ahead and move on and find their next supply. If they don't already have it, because 9 times out of 10 they already have it lined up, so that when you become depleted, they will dismiss you, do something that will totally dismiss it, disregard you, and send you packing. And then they would use their secondary fuel supply. Okay, and depending on how many they have after that, if they don't have any more after that, then once that supply is depleted, they will hit you up and start to love bomb you. Baby, I miss you, I need you, this, that, and the other. They will put the Mac down heavy, baby. They will become the finesser all over again, and will reel you back in, because what? You had time to recharge, okay? Your energy levels, your light has had time to replenish and recharge. So when that secondary bitches become depleted, oh, okay, main bitch, come on back. Okay, yeah, you right. You got what I need right now, and that's the cycle, okay? And they will bring in these flying monkeys. Sometimes these people know exactly what they're doing, and sometimes they don't. The ones who don't, they're generally used to just be present in the situation. Okay, and when you're present in the situation and not seeing the priming of the gaslighting, they just see the results of, and they will go and run their mouths. Okay, that's a unrealized flying monkey. The ones that know what they are doing is the one like I described with you, that started talking about where's the razor and all of this stuff. They going along with the game, okay? They may not know what the game is, or that they're dealing with a narcissist. They think probably just be reveling in the fact that they're being messy, or just doing what somebody else told them to do. Okay. But either way, the flying monkey, you bitch ass motherfuckers, and you narcissists, you double bitch ass motherfuckers, okay? And I say that with all the light and love. Yes, we have to love everybody, and I do, but that don't mean I have to like you, bitch. And I don't like narcissists or flying monkeys, because for that time, that cycle that the flying monkeys are active, you are weak. Okay? Just like the narcissists don't have no power beyond sucking in fuel from someone else. But the narcissist really doesn't have any power, because they don't have an identity. And because they don't have an identity, they don't have any light that they can access. Remember, we all have light and shadows within ourselves, but they are so encompassed with the shadow, they can't even see or access the light. Okay? So that's what that is, and we have to be careful. Empaths, we have to be so careful, because we are targeted, whether the narcissists realize why they're targeting you or not. Okay, a narcissist can be completely ignorant to the fact of empaths, and all of this shit, and they just going for what they know, what makes them feel better. Okay. So we have to be careful, and if we realize that we are in that type of cycle, we need to remove ourselves immediately. Okay, bitch, no contact. Okay, don't fall for the love bombing, baby. I miss you, I need you. That puss, that booty hole, that peen was so good. Don't fall for that shit. It's a tactic.